I have had so many conversations with people over the last few months with all this whole corona thing, the lockdown things, where people are saying, why can't people just see what's going on? Why can't people see through the lies and the hype? And why is it so easy to fall into this hysteria and just go along with the status quo and not ask any questions at all? It's like people are living in this bubble of believing everything that they're fed. And at first I was like, yeah, no, it's crazy, right? But then I looked at the point a bit more. I looked at, okay, well, in a situation and in a question in the context of something like this, what I like to do is to ask myself, okay, where have I done something similar in my life? Where have I actually lived this very same pattern? And the reality is that me, as well as every single person in the world, lives this exact pattern in a whole lot of areas in life. The nature of the pattern is to take a belief or an opinion or a self-definition and to accept it without question, to live it completely, to defend it with all your might, and to be so completely enamored with it that you absolutely refuse to consider anything else. And we have all had moments like that, maybe in different ways or in different contexts of our lives, but whether it's religion or politics or self-definitions or personalities or self-judgments, there's so many different ways that that particular pattern can be lived out. And the reality is that we each are like individual units, individual little bubbles, and each of our little bubbles contains all of the things we believe and all of our opinions and all of our self-definitions, and we don't like it when our bubble gets burst. And we don't like it when we are questioned on who we are or why we are or what we believe or why we believe. And that's exactly what's happening with this whole COVID thing. That we are simply seeing on a grand scale and in a very obvious way this pattern that we all live in different areas of our lives and of ourselves, that manifests in different ways. It's not exclusive to corona, and it's not exclusive to believing the mainstream media or believing what the government says. It's in almost every single aspect or area of our lives, of our daily living. So the question becomes, all right, first of all, how do I stop reacting to what everyone else is doing? Because what happens when I am sitting here reacting to how people are just so easily believing things and not questioning things? I become an observer. I judge them. I separate myself from them. It's like this kind of pushing away. And whenever I go into a state like that, where I'm looking at someone and judging what they're doing or what they're saying or what they're believing, then I make it that much more difficult to connect to them and really have an open and honest conversation with them, because all I can see is their opinions and their beliefs, and all that's going on inside of me is my judgments of that, my opinions of their opinions, my beliefs about what they believe. And the nature of those judgments and of that position that I take in those moments with those people, it's like I'm not there with them creating the space to have a safe environment, to have an open discussion about something. I'm creating this space to attack them and to defend myself. And the feel of who I am when I'm judging someone like that is very different to the feel of who I am when I set my judgments aside, when I'm just quiet and calm and stable within me and embracing what someone is sharing with me, because I want the best for them. I want to support them. I want to be honest in return and not tell them how to live, but I can tell them how I have lived that point. And that requires that I allow myself to really investigate how I have lived that point. Maybe not in exactly the same way or in exactly the same context, but most likely everything that someone is going through, you will have gone through similar. And that's where we can support each other. And sometimes all we can do is listen, but making ourselves available and making ourselves open to listening to someone without judgment, again, it creates such a different environment and such a different presence and state of being within us that it ripples out, and the people in our lives can feel it. They may not be able to describe it or to consciously pinpoint it, but when they speak with you and you're not judging them and you're not having any thoughts of judging them and you're not attacking them, you're not doing anything that is telling them they're wrong, you're simply hearing and listening unconditionally and reflecting on it within yourself and seeing how you relate to that in your own life. And sharing who you are, sharing what you see, maybe asking some questions to make sure you're on the same page. It creates such a different potential relationship. It creates this very different and very unusual, because it's not done so often. People don't give this to each other very often, but it creates this safe space where you can just connect with someone for who they are and do your best to support them and do your best to be open, to not judge. And that is that's how we could change the conversation about things like COVID-19 or lockdowns. Because every time we attack someone for their beliefs, all they're going to do is hunker down, hold on tighter, react more strongly, resist more strongly. Nothing good comes from it. All right. Thank you very much for watching. You're going to see me next time.